beings on the little dopamine hamster wheel and keep us running and running and running with all of these nonsense metrics to a hobby that ends up with a hobby at the end of it. If you want to have a business, you need to understand that two things matter and two things matter alone. One, of course, it is sales of your art as a result of attention that you've acquired on that. And two, starting conversations for people that are interested in your art. That's it. Those are the only two things that matter. I don't care about reach. I don't care about views. I don't care about likes. I don't care about comments. I don't care about shares. All of those are nonsense metrics. Don't read me those metrics. Don't tell me those metrics. Don't ask me how you got a reel that saw 1 million views and you feel really great about it. None of that moves the needle in your business. All you care about are people purchasing your art or people contacting you with what I like to call buying questions. Hey, I'm interested in this piece. I'd love to talk to you about a piece. I'd love to talk to you about a commission. Those are the two things that matter, okay? When you understand those are the two things that matter, it's actually quite freeing. It's quite freeing in the sense that in order to win in today's day and age, in social media marketing, there's only one way. It is the number of pieces of content that you create on the platform per week. That is the OMTM. It's the only metric that matters, okay? It's the only metric that matters. Number of pieces of content that you create per week, okay? I'm gonna come back to that in a second. The next thing I wanna teach you guys about is the fact that Instagram, okay, is essentially 3 social networks in one, all right? 3 social networks in one. And almost no one talks about this, but it's very, very important to understand this, okay? So you can see I've got Instagram pulled up here, right? And the way that I like to explain this is if you think of Instagram as a house, okay? It's a house with 3 rooms. Your job as someone that's trying to get more eyeballs on your art or photography is to make sure that your art or photography is hanging in all 3 rooms of the house, okay? Because what happens is, on this particular platform, is some people come into the house and they'll only ever go into the one room and then they'll leave. Other people are gonna go into the 3rd room, that's where they spend their time, and they will leave. Some people will go to all 3 rooms. Some people will alternate. They'll go to one room one day, the other day they'll go to the other room, and then they'll leave, okay? 3 rooms. There's 3 rooms in this house, and I want to explain what the 3 rooms are. So I have the phone pulled up. You can see this is an Instagram profile. So if you look at the bottom, right, there's the home search, little plus thing, little reel icon, and then the little profile icon, bottom right-hand corner. So that's the one that I'm on. So if I click this grid, right, this is the feed, okay? And this is my feed at Art Store Friends. If I clicked here, this is where you're like default end up in the app, right? This is what's called the feed on Instagram. And in the feed in Instagram, you're greeted with just a myriad of different posts, okay? So in here, and my thing is loading a little slowly, could not refresh feed. It doesn't matter, I need to show it. In there are individual image posts. There are individual video posts. There are carousel posts, which are essentially up to 10 images in a single post, or up to 10 videos in a single post, or a combination of individual images and individual videos all in one post, okay? That is the feed. That is one of the rooms in the house. The second room in the house are what are called stories, right? And if you're on your profile or you open up the app, the stories are up here up top. And these are these little tiles. Of course, my thing is just doesn't want to load when I have to present. Unbelievable. I'm gonna have to restart this phone or something. Maybe I'll go to airplane mode, come out. What's the advice I always give my mother when she calls me? Just restart the thing. Just restart the thing, Mom. That usually works. 9 times out of 10, just restart it. Doesn't matter what it is, restart it, right? We'll see if the airplane mode hack works today. The second room are the Instagram stories, and don't worry, I'll get it to come back up on the screen. It's always something. Bear with me, you guys. It's always on a Friday. They have to do this. QR code. All right, hold on. And so while I'm getting this configured back up, Instagram stories are a feature that Instagram stole verbatim from Snapchat. Snapchat is this app that came out a while ago. All the kids really like it. And the way that it works with the Instagram stories is you post either an image or you can post a video, and after 24 hours, it disappears. All right. Now we're back up. Let's see if this works. Oh, come on. Wow, my presentation skills are really going to be in the toilet then. Well, I gotta think what my plan C is. Let's see if it came back. Oh, come on! All right. Restart the phone is the only thing I can think of. It'll screw up my whole presentation if I can't do it, so I'm going to restart the phone. And then while that's happening, I'll talk to you guys about some other things. So, okay. Instagram Stories is the one that they stole from Snapchat. And again, they go away in 24 hours. They can be individual images. They can be individual videos. You can put little stickers on top of it. You can do polls with it. Instagram Stories. Room number 2. Room number 3, okay, is their newest product, which this time they copied verbatim from a company called TikTok, which is the Chinese social network, which I despise, so I don't want to talk about it. But they copied verbatim, and it's this thing called Reels. And Reels are videos of 120 seconds or less, okay, that you can add music to, that are in a horizontal or a vertical format rather than a horizontal format like our TVs that you would be, right? Let's see if I can get it going this time. And they are Instagram's newest product. They are the new shiny object on the block. They're a thing that Instagram is trying to explode. They're essentially the most important content type on Instagram. Yes, you need to be in all 3 rooms. God, this thing is just going so wonky on me. Yes, you need to be in all 3 rooms because people will come in and this is really taking me off my game. Yes. Come on. Bear with me, guys. I'm almost here. It's just going to be so much more of a compelling presentation if we can actually see the doggone phone. Come on. Of course, it's making me log back in. I'm almost here. Almost here. Oh, go on, go on. So it was restart. I should have just listened to myself there. Okay, so these are the Instagram Stories, right? And they're little individual tiles, and you click on them, and they can be videos, they can be whatever. These things expire in 24 hours, okay? Now I'm going back down to the bottom. Let me just share the cell phone again. Hold on. It's a little bit clearer for you guys when I do this. Now I'm down here on the bottom, and these are what are called Reels, right? And so this is super confusing, but this is the easiest way for me to explain it. That is a crazy looking sunset. They're short videos, right? Some people put trending music to them. Some people don't put trending music to them. That's weird. They can be just about anything that you want to put together in any capacity. You know, displaying your process, talking about your work, what makes you tick, a roving slideshow of your photos, a mural you've done before, right? Like your dance moves, yeah, whatever. It can be literally anything, and I'm going to show you how to make some. Those 3 rooms, though, it is my position, my contention. You need to be creating content for all 3 of the rooms, okay? Because you never know who's going to come into that one particular room at what particular time and what that's going to look like, and you need to be doing it consistently. And when you do that, you realize that the only metric that matters for artists and photographers that want to be successful is number of pieces of content that you create on this platform per week, okay? Number of pieces of content that you create on this platform per week. And the reason that's the most important is the way that social media works and the way that Instagram works, particularly in today's day and age, is the most important thing is really the serendipity. It's the serendipity of it all. And let me explain. I'm in the supermarket and I'm pushing my cart through and it's really, really busy and the lines are starting to back up and I'm following and I run into a lane really quick and then I look at the cart and this person has 200 items in the cart. Oh man, I'm stuck there. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pull my phone out. And I'm going to go onto Instagram and I'm going to look at Instagram and oh my gosh, there's a post from Julietta. Julietta decided to post 10 minutes ahead of time and I just looked at it and because the serendipity was in place there, I ended up following her and later I'm going to see some more posts and then I'm going to contact her and eventually buy her art. You don't win at this game by being the best at it. You don't win by having the most local knowledge of the platform. You win by the number of pieces of content created per week. If I went back to my fishing analogy, let's say it's me versus the best fisherman in the world. He's got the best boat, the best equipment, the best everything. And he goes out and he fishes 3 hours a week, right? I go out and I'm fishing 8 hours a day. I'll kill him. I'll absolutely kill him because it's hours on the water. that I am exposing myself to when the fish are going to be biting. I'm gonna get him because I'm out way more than he is. And the problem that all artists and photographers fall into, it's like, well, how many times did you post last week? Posted 3 times on Instagram, right? I posted 3 times, maybe 4 times, right? But really only in one of the rooms, not the 3 rooms, versus the folks that hit all of those rooms multiple times daily. They are opening themselves up to the serendipity of when people are online, when people are looking at a post. And it's not something that most people talk about. Most people talk about do this, do that. You're going to get more views. You're going to get more likes. You're going to get more comments. All of that's nonsense. Are people purchasing your art, or are they contacting you interested in purchasing your art? Or are they leaving a comment saying, this is really interesting, does it come in a 24 by 36? That's the only thing that matters. And if that's what you want to win at, it is number of pieces of content that you create per week, okay? That's it. It's the only metric that matters. Now, most of you guys likely do not have an Instagram business account. You need to have an Instagram business account, because when you do, okay, you get a report, you get extra analytics, and it takes 2 seconds to do this, okay? I should probably, Andrew, will you YouTube how to switch my account to an Instagram business account and then throw it in the chat? I should have one of those videos ready. It takes 2 seconds to switch. It's completely reversible. Any of you can do it in a heartbeat, okay? When you do that, what ends up happening is you get access, okay? You get access to a report called Insights. And if you look at the phone now that I'm sharing on the screen, and if you look at the hamburger menu, it's in the upper right-hand corner below the battery. It's the 3 little lines, right? If I click that, you can see on all this menu here, a couple things down, like the little chart-looking icon, it says Insights. And if I click Insights, I can scroll down, and it gives me a report. By default, this is the last 7 days. And you can see it says posts, stories, reels, live videos, okay? I'll talk about live videos at the end. Your job is to focus only on this report in Instagram and get better and better and better at doing it. Get to a position where you can, and let's just see what we did at Art Storefront. So we did 7 plus 26 plus 24 plus 1. So we've only done 58 this week, 58 divided by 7. So we've only been doing 8 per day. As a brand, as a company at Instagram, that's extremely low for us. Usually we're at like 30 a day, but I cheat because I spend a ton of money on ads, and so my content goes much further. You guys can't do that, so I don't want you worried about that. But this report here is all that matters. I don't care about follower count, guys. I don't care about likes, comments, shares, reach, video views, any of it. The only thing that matters is this, because when you focus solely on this report to the detriment of everything else, what ends up happening is you figure out how to get really good at this. You figure out how to actually start doing it. You realize just how easy it is when you start getting the hang of it. You start getting a little bit more comfortable being on video, okay? I hate being on video. If this wasn't my job, none of you would know what I look like, but this is my job, okay? I have a face for radio. I figured it out. No one has hair. No one has makeup. We all have messy houses, okay? We all have normal clothes. No one's living in a mansion. Get over yourselves. You got to get contrarian about being comfortable having conversations and being on video. 100% of you guys can do this, okay? 100% of you guys can do this. Thankfully, you decided to come to this workshop on a Friday, and I'm going to show you just how easy this is, okay? You already have figured this out at this point, but I have a problem with the speed in which I talk. I have report cards from 2nd grade teachers saying, slow down. I'm 44 now. I haven't slowed down, so I've given up hope on that. So have all my friends. So why am I bringing this up now? I'm recording this, okay? When this session is over, I am going to send you guys a video, and if you have to stop it and start it a couple of times, you can do that. But I'm going to demystify. I'm going to give you some of the hacks, just show you how easy this is to do, okay? How quickly you can do it, how it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter where you are. When you're focused on the only metric that matters, which is the number of pieces of content created per week, when you focus on that metric for at least a year, without worrying about any of the others, you go from being an unsophisticated marketer to being in the top 5% of people that are marketing on Instagram. And I would say the top 1% of artists and photographers. You can get that done in 1 year. That is how simple and easy this is to do. Simple, not easy, because you actually have to do the work. So let's get into some content creation, okay? I want to show you some amazing features that Instagram has to make this very, very easy, okay? I want to go to show you how in a very short period of time, I'm going to be able to create 6 or 7 or 8 pieces of content, and you can totally do the same thing, okay? I want to start with Reels. It's important to give you a little bit of context, okay? A little bit of context about why Reels are the most important right now at this moment in time. I hate TikTok, okay? TikTok is a communist China app, all right, that is in our app stores, that is downloading way too much information, and the fecklessness of our country even allowing that into our app stores and into our next generation, i.e. the kiddos' phones, despises me and it disgusts me. And I want that thing banned immediately, okay? But, again, I'm contrarian. And I have much to thank TikTok for, we all do. Because prior to TikTok coming on the scene, Meta, which owns Facebook and which owns Instagram, had an utter, total, and complete monopoly on social media marketing, especially for artists and photographers, okay? Yes, there's some other ones out there, but for us and what we're trying to do, those two are the only ones that mattered. Because they had a monopoly, because they had no competition, they made it a pay-to-play for platform, right? Hey guys, go work your butt off and go get all these fans and all these followers by content you've created on my platform, and to reward you for that, I'll go ahead and show that to 1 or 2% of your friends or fans, because I don't need you. If you want more people to see it, give me money. So along comes TikTok. You guys already know how I feel about them. And they offered competition. They started siphoning users off of Instagram at an alarming rate. So Facebook did what they normally do in this scenario, which is they went and tried to buy them, okay? Zuckerberg went and tried to buy TikTok. TikTok said, pound sand, I'm not selling. Zuckerberg was like, hey, my wife is Chinese and I'm learning Mandarin. Can I buy you? And they're like, pound sand. So he went back. He goes, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to copy their number one feature, and that's what they've turned into Instagram Reels. What's interesting about Instagram Reels is they have broken the social contract. The social contract was exactly what I just explained. Get people to follow you. They're the only ones that are going to see your content. If you want more of them to see your content, pay me money in the form of ads. Now, because of this competition with TikTok, you can potentially, okay, have a reel, create a reel. You could have 1 follower, your mother, okay? And if the reel is good, Instagram will go and show it to strangers that do not follow you and do not know you for free. That is a significant, significant deal. That did not exist prior to TikTok coming on the scene. So that is the only thing that despotic app is good for, okay? So Reels are where I want you guys to start. Reels are what I want you to focus on. There are some features that make them very easy, okay? Very fun to do. I'm going to show you those. This is the part where you're going to have to rewind the video later because I'm going to go fast. Fast for me is just normal for me. All right, so here I am, and I'm going to share the screen so you guys get a better view, okay? So you get a better view. Here we go, don't worry. All right, so I'm going to hit the little plus sign up top, okay? And you can see reel, post, story, highlight, live, guide, whatever, fundraiser. So I'm going to create a reel, okay? And I'm going to press camera. Now, it opened up my media library by default, right? And so I could have used that if I was so inclined. I'm not. So this is the reel editor. And one of the great ways to make these is with green screen. And yes, I'll answer your hashtag. I see the questions in the chat. I'll answer all of them. Don't worry. So the green screen, and yes, this is confusing. I have a real green screen behind me because I run webinars for a job. So, of course, I have one. You don't need one. Don't worry about it. But Instagram has this feature called green screen, which essentially gives you studio-level green screen technology anywhere you are, okay? Anywhere you are. And so what I did is that this was the default view. And if I scroll this little wheel, oh, I screwed up. Hold on. I pressed the wrong button. Start over. Okay, so this is the default view. If I scroll in the middle, God, this thing's so sensitive today. Start over. All right, so I'm going to scroll that way. So do you see I went to left to this little green screen thing? Some of you guys have Android phones, by the way. You're going to have to YouTube how to do this because Android's a little bit different than on an iPhone. This is just how it is. So what it's done here is you can see it's put me against an image, right? Now, this image is one that they have by default in their library, and you can see I can move myself around, right? And it also gives me changed background. And so I can change the background, and I can go to my camera roll. And in my camera roll, I can have videos, I can have photos, I can have screenshots. screenshots of my website. I can have anything. And it instantaneously gives me a very interesting and a very compelling background. Let me show you like a workflow that I have. Okay. I have a podcast. You guys all should be listening to it, actually. It's called the Art Marketing Podcast, and it's very, very good. Over 500,000 downloads and really, really good reviews. But what I want to show you is I just released a new episode. And so here's the new episode, number 57. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screenshot this, okay? So you can see I just took a screenshot of it, all right? I am now going to go back into Instagram, all right? And I am going to use that screenshot that I just took as the background for the reel I'm about to create. So I could do this. I could be in the car waiting to pick my kids up. I could be in my messy house, okay? I could be in my office with all my kids' crap strewn all about everywhere back there, right? I could be in lounge mode, like I couldn't find your name, lounge mode, like this guy is on the couch right here, right? You can do it anywhere. You can do it anywhere, and instantaneously this background goes in. So here it is. I'm going to record this reel right now, and I'm going to show you the next stage, all right? What's up, Instagram? I just released a new podcast, and you sorely need to listen to it because you guys are not very good at turning buying questions into selling conversations. What do you do when someone says your work is so fantastic? You are such a talented artist. You should really start a business with this. That image is incredible. What an amazing piece. Those are examples of what I like to call buying questions. And it's incumbent upon you, artist and photographer, to know how to turn them into selling conversations. If only there was a podcast episode that taught you how to do that in detail. There is. I just released it, and I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's the Art Marketing Podcast, number 57. Podcast is on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Stitcher and Aweber and any of the rest of them. Anywhere you find a podcast, it's also on YouTube. So if you're not a podcast person, you can go watch the YouTube video. I really want you to check it out. It's good. I'm not kidding. And I show you a very awesome Instagram hack on how to do this. So do please check it out. So I press stop. I press next. I press next. And that's a terrible looking image. I'm going to switch that one out. Add from camera roll. I'm going to add that one. I'll use that as the image. Much better. Cover and share. So what I just did right there is I just created a reel, okay? And I could have titled it. I could have, given it a description. I could have given it hashtags. And sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, right? Like if I don't have a ton of time, then I don't do it. And right now I don't have a ton of time, so I'm not doing it. So we'll get into, you guys can ask questions about the hashtags. I hate hashtags. Surprise, surprise, I'm opinionated about something. But I can tell you about that in a second. So what that's going to do is Instagram is going to take that reel and it is going to place that reel in 2 rooms. So if I go and I look at my profile now and I look at my Reels tab, okay, it is now right there. You can see the one that I just recorded. There it is. It is also going to take and place it in the first room, which is the feed, right? So if you look at the Art Storefronts feed right there, the very first example is that one, right? So ways you can do this. You could have the photo of your process. You could have a photo of your work hanging somewhere. You could have the photo of you setting your tripod up for your landscape shot that you're going to take and you had to get up at 6 a.m. and hike 12 miles to go take it. You could have a photo of your customers holding a piece or your booth setup or whatever. It could be anything, and you can use that as a background. This is an incredibly powerful feature, you guys, because it allows you to be in your home the entire time. Okay, and you could mix up your destinations all day long because you can be in front of anything. You could screenshot anything. You could screenshot your website, right? You could screenshot a news article about you. It can be anything, okay? It can be anything. So what I did is I just recorded that thing. It created a piece of content for 2 rooms. Let's go get it into the 3rd room, okay? So if I click on this reel, and I scroll up a little bit, if you look at the bottom, there's heart, there's chat, and there is the little paper airplane, the little airplane. So if I click the airplane, okay, what this is going to allow me to do down here at the bottom is add this to a story, okay? And so what Instagram has done is it's taken the reel and it's basically said, okay, that reel is like, 1 minute and 20 seconds. I'm going to let you take 15 seconds of it as kind of a trailer, as a teaser, and I'm going to let you throw it into the third room or the second room, depending on one of the 3 rooms, which are Instagram stories. And once you get in here, you can toggle the background, right? I can give it a color that looks a little bit better, and I could add text to it if I wasn't so inclined, and I can give it a sticker. And so in this case, I'm going to give it a sticker, and so I'm going to type podcast. And stickers they're either small images or they're GIFs or GIFs, depending on how you say it. And you can click one. They have a huge library of like anything imaginable. And so I'm just going to take the new episode. I'm going to put it right like that. I'm going to click next. Okay. And I'm going to click share. Done. And so what that's done now is it's taken the reel that lives both on the Reels tab and in the feed, rooms 1 and 2, and I've now placed it into the stories, the third room, okay? So I just created one piece of content. I did it very, very quickly, and now it's in the 3 rooms. I've created 3 pieces of content while teaching you guys how to create that piece of content. That's really, really quick, right? So what happens once you start creating reels? And I'm shifting gears to the second one here, the next one. When you start creating reels, you will start getting comments on reels, okay? And the podcast that I just talked about, you know, how do you take buying questions? Your work is so beautiful. This is such an incredible piece. Oh, this is gorgeous. Amazing work. I love it. Your job as an artist are to see those comments and reply by starting a selling conversation. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that compliment. Just to let you know, I have that work available on metal, canvas, and acrylic. If you're interested, check it out on my website or send me a message. Thank you so much for that compliment. It's just to let you know, I'm actually running a sale next week, and that piece is in the sale. Do you know where this piece would look great? On your wall. Send me a DM and we can talk about it. I don't care how you go about it, but you cannot let people, okay, that give you these buying questions not turn them into selling conversations. I could do an entire episode on this. In fact, I already did do an entire episode on this. I hope you guys listen to it. But you guys need to get better at not just taking the compliment and saying, okay, great, thank you. You need to turn it into a selling conversation, right? You need to let them know that it's available. So what happens? And again, we have the Chinese communists to thank for this one as well, because they copied this feature verbatim from TikTok. But once you start making reels, you'll start getting comments on the reels, okay? So I'm going to scroll down to one that I see that has a comment. Sometimes some of them just get like a lot. Sometimes some of them don't get any. It's just sort of a mixed bag, and it also depends on how you go about it, right? But here I am on a reel, and should I share the screen again? Is it possible to see when you're looking at this one? Is it much better if I share the screen? It's probably better if I share the screen, huh? Yeah, fine. Done. Okay. So you can see, here's a reel that I've made, and you can see that there's a comment here, right? And here's the comment, and it says, if you're not using Copilot, you're playing the game in hard mode, right? And if I go to this comment and I hit reply, what's really interesting is they've now made this little blue circle with this little camera icon, and if I click it, what it does is it grabs the comment that they just left, it puts it up above my head like a sticker, okay? And it allows me to record a reel, record a video response to the comment. This is an extremely powerful thing. You want to know why? Because you don't have to worry. You don't have to show me what you had for breakfast this morning, okay? Or show me your new Mercedes, or talk about what you like, or any of the nonsense that we see on social media. What you get to do here is you get to respond to someone that has left you a question, and it makes creating the content very, very easy, okay? People are asking, can you do it again? I'm going to do it again. This only works, by the way, on Reels, okay? It only works on Reels. It doesn't work on a normal post. It doesn't work on a live video or any of the other stuff, only Reels. So I'm just going to say that. So here's the comment. And by the way, if you're like, how do I get this to work? If it's not working, that means it's not a reel, okay? This little blue icon with the camera, right, is how you know it's working. If that's working, it's working, okay? So I just press the blue button, and instantaneously it throws the comment up here, okay? Now, what can I do in this scenario? One, I can move this thing around, okay, because it's just a sticker. And so I kind of like to make sure it's moved into the middle and that people can see it. Two, I can tap on it, and I can change the color on it, okay? Three, if I wanted to in here, I could use the green screen, okay? I'm not going to use the green screen, but you could. Now, all I have to do is press the button and record a video response to this, okay? So we're going to assume that this person was just leaving me a comment about a piece that I had displayed in the reel. So I'm going to lean forward. What is this person's name? They're called Art Marketing Expert, okay? It's my kind of person. So watch what I'm going to do here. Thank you so much for that comment, Art Marketing Expert. Just to let you know, the piece is still available, all right? It is on metal. I've hand signed it, and I'm having a flash sale on this thing today. So if you want it on your wall, all you've got to do is send me a direct message right now on Instagram, and we can work out the details. And if you're not Art Marketing Expert and you would love this lovely piece, metal on your wall, all you have to do is send me a DM on Instagram. I click stop. I click next. Thank you so much for that comment, Art Marketing Expert. Just to let. So I'm not going to send that one. But what that did after I would have done it, or if I would have done it, is really, really interesting. So one, the person that left that comment, okay, gets a notification from Instagram that I responded to their comment. That's number one. Number two, Instagram now places that reel in my Reels tab, and it also places it in my feed. So by replying to that comment, which didn't take that much brain power, I just created content for 2 of the 3 rooms. I can then, if I'm so inclined, go and put it in the story again, and I've just created 6 pieces of content, right? So there were 6 in a very, very quick display. So if you guys are getting comments on your reels that are buying questions or anything, right? What was your inspiration for this? Where is this shot, right? Like, I love those palm trees. Where is that beach? Whatever the thing may be, all you have to do is come in, press the button, and you've got another piece of content. And it makes you look cool because you're a responsive artist, a photographer that's actually responding to your audience, right? Instead of hiding like all of you guys normally do. I'm poking fun, but it's not entirely not true, right? It's like kind of mostly true. So that right there is how you create 6 different pieces of content. It is extremely, extremely powerful, the replying to comments one, because right now it's a short-term arbitrage, and I hate talking about short-term arbitrages, but Instagram for some reason really likes those particular deals. I don't know why they like them so much, but they just do. And so I notice when I'm creating a ton of content myself on Instagram that those ones end up getting way more views oftentimes than other ones. And here's another one doing it like, hey, thank you so much for this, right? And by the way, you can see, so he did this one and he used the green screen because he didn't want to, he records 100 of these things in his office and he doesn't want people to see him in his office every single solitary time. So he mixes it up. So you could use the green screen and do it too. So that is another extremely, extremely beneficial way to do it. I want to show you my favorite one, okay? My favorite one that no one ever talks about, which is going live on Instagram. Now, going live on Instagram is a little bit terrifying for most people, right? I get that, but you got to get over it. You got to be contrarian. You got to go for it. And most of you guys don't have huge followings, so not that many people are going to tune in anyway. So it doesn't matter, right? But what's amazing about it is I do not believe a single solitary bullshit thing that this network tells me, or any of them. I don't believe in the likes. I don't believe in the comments. I don't believe in the engagement. I don't believe in reach. It is all made up nonsense that just keep me engaged on the platform. You know what is real? Yes, the people contacting us to buy our art. Yes, the people sending us a message, because that's real. I can touch it. I can taste it. I can see it. I can feel it. And yes, when I do a live broadcast. Because when I do a live broadcast, I'm able to directly interact with my audience and I can see them there. Okay? That is an extremely powerful thing. It's sort of a takeaway on all of this. And this is why Instagram is so amazing, you guys. By doing live broadcasts, you are essentially opening the art gallery that is your business in the mall. You're just opening the doors. And you don't know who's going to come in. You don't know who's going to be there. It might just be your aforementioned mother because that's the only one that follows you. But that's where it starts, okay? But it's essentially opening the door to your store, and people can come in, ask you questions, interact with you, and you can see them in real time, okay? That is an extremely powerful thing. The fact that I'm going to do it in 1 second, that I can just turn this thing on and open the doors to my store and start having a conversation. whoever's walking by my store right now and start pitching art storefronts. Do you know how powerful that is? That's insane. That's absolutely amazing. Now, the difficulty, the nuance in it is the longer you keep the store open, the better, right? And that can be a little disheartening when you don't know what to talk about and you're just getting started and you don't have a high follower count. I don't want you to worry about any of that, right? You could have the camera somewhere where you're just working on your process and you have to like kind of get the flow of it and figure it all out. But let's just see how we do this. I'm going to go to the screen share again so you guys can see the phone in big size. Let's do this. So I press the plus, okay, and there's one little stop before we get to the party here. So I press live, right? And you can see it's turned the camera on, and then up top it's telling me that I have 48 active followers right now. So what Instagram is telling me, of all of your followers, this is how many people are on Instagram at this moment in time and likely to tune in, right? It's kind of indicative. It kind of lets you know what's possible, what you might see. I don't worry about it. I don't let it slow me down in the slightest, okay? When I want to go on here and rant, I go on here and rant. That's it, full stop. That's what I do. And what's interesting is that when I start doing this, okay, number one, like I said, you see real-time, real people. Amazing, insane, okay? There's some features in here that you can do, and let me see if I can find some, right? You can also start a conversation with somebody, and they can request to be on your live. And then you could be talking to a buyer, a potential buyer, where other people are seeing you talk to the buyer, potential buyer. That's a big deal too. But let's just go live and let's just get into it, and I'll just ad-lib it because that's what I do. Enjoy it. What's up, Instagram? Happy Friday. I'm in a Zoom session teaching folks how to run a live on Instagram. And so that's kind of meta. And the platform's called Meta, so there's likely some irony there. You can see people are now joining the live broadcast. You can wave at people. Hi, Kim. I know who that is. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, where this is so much more real than anything else. Look, and someone already has requested to be in my chat. Let's see who it is. Oh, 3 of you guys already. Andrea, you're the devil I know, so why don't you join? And so Andrea's in the Zoom too. She's asking to join, and what you're going to be able to see is like true George Jetson-esque, instantaneous, we're on a hand-to-hand video call, right? And so there's Andrea. You can see her. That's her cell phone camera view. No hair, no makeup, going for it, okay? Doesn't care about the lighting. I love to see it, all right? And she can ask me questions. She can talk. What is your name, by the way, ma'am, miss?
I can't remember. Why don't you tell me?
No, I'm not going to tell you. I always make fun of your name. Anyway, so you can have people join your live broadcast where you can be talking about various different things, right? Like I could be showing off my art. Andrea could be talking about it. People can leave you comments. Hi, Chrissy. You can take the comments and you can pin the comments. And so Andrea and I can be having a conversation about something. And like, look, if I put my finger over the content, it allows me to pin the comment, right? And so you could see there's that comment that Chrissy left me that's now pinned at the top. And I can say, Andrea, you're awesome. I really appreciate your time. Bye. And I can kick Andrea off. I actually don't even know how to do that. Do I close it here? I forgot. Oh, no, I got to close it here. No, that ends the entire live. How do I kick you out without losing the whole live? I forget. Let me see.
I don't know.
I don't know either. You might just need to leave it so I don't screw up my display because I don't want to screw up my display. Oh, here it is. I see it. Bye. Oh, no, that was closing the pinned comment. I usually don't do this one, so I'm not as expert at it. Let's see. How can I get you out of there? I don't know. I think you just need to drop.
Close.
Yeah, you close. You drop off, and it'll do it. So if she closes out Instagram, she'll drop off, right? And now here I am back in it. So I could have had a short conversation with somebody. I could be talking about a piece. I could be talking about my inspiration. I could be merchandising my art, right? I could turn it on a Friday and be like, it's Friday. Guys, I'm in a good mood. Let's play a game, okay? Newest piece. I need a title for it. You guys leave me your ideas of what you would title this piece. The one that I pick, I'm going to send the piece that you titled, thank you, directly to you for free. Leave me comments on what you think the title is, right? Or you could have a flash sale. You could do any of the above. So what happens, thank you guys for watching. That was all demonstration purposes. So what happens is if I end it, okay, I can go to share and I can write a title, I can write a caption, I could give it hashtags if I'm so inclined. Then I'm not going to save this one because this one's whatever nonsense. But if I would have saved it, after it's done and it's saved, Instagram then turns it into a reel, places it into my Reels feed. No, not in the Reels feed. Places it into the main feed, and then I'm also able to put it into a story. So there it is. That's another 3 pieces of content. So in that short little period of time of demonstration, I just created 9 pieces of content. Pretty staggering, right? Pretty staggering. Then, because the Instagram stories, you guys, are gone after 24 hours. They're gone. So you can create one reel, okay? Share it to your Instagram story. 3 days later, share it to your Instagram story again. 2 weeks later, share it to your Instagram story again. 1 month later, share it to your Instagram story again. So you realize after you get a certain number of reels created, your stories are covered. Your stories are covered, vacation time, downtime, out of town time. You're just hammering and dropping in there. You got it all day long because you just go back to the well, right? You just come in here and you scroll down. You're like, made that thing 37 days ago. No one's seen that. Paper airplane, add to my story, change the background.
For Black Friday, which is going to be a big deal.
Great.
It's a big deal every single solitary year.
What that done, right? Boom, I just dropped another story in there because I went back in my reels like 3 weeks, and there it is. I've got one, right? So it becomes fun. You end up getting good at it, okay? You end up learning to enjoy it. All of the stupid questions that everyone asked me, it's not stupid, okay? I was starting out. What's the best time to post? Should I do a close-up or should I do a long shot? Can I show my process? What about this? Do you think this is a good idea? I don't know. No one can tell you. But you know what happens when you focus on the number of pieces of content created per week? You find out. You find out. Because you're spending so much time on the water fishing, you start learning what are the best things for you in your business. And you start learning what are the best things for you in your business based on the only metric that matters coming back. Are people buying your art? Are they contacting you to buy your art? Are they starting conversation? Because that's the only thing that matters. We don't want a hobby. We don't want to be on the dopamine hamster wheel, okay? All we care about is it helping us grow our business. Now, easy to say in the short term, harder to do. Because when you're just getting started, you don't have that much attention, right? You're just getting started. So you have to give yourself the freedom to know what you can achieve with this application is absolutely astounding. It's absolutely amazing. It's not going to change anytime soon, okay? It plays a role in art sales at the top of the market, multiple $1 million pieces, down to the bottom market, down to everything in between. The more time, energy, and effort you invest in creating a loyal fan group, following whatever you want to call it on here, the bigger it'll get, the easier it'll get, the faster it'll go. My position, okay, is if you ignore everything except the number of pieces of content that you create per week and you stick to it for a year, you will have momentum. You will start generating sales. You'll be having conversations with the people that matter, and your art business will actually be growing. That's my position. And do you know what happens when I get on a webinar with my customers and they're like, oh man, I've been working so hard, you guys, and this is just not working for me. I'm not making any sales. Barely anyone's contacting me. What's going on? And I go, all right, pull up your insights report. Show it to me right now. You know what I always see? Nothing. Right? Nothing. Like, no one is magically going to discover you. No one is coming to save you. Fish are not going to jump in your boat. An audience is not a light switch. I don't care if you've been doing this for 50 years. If you don't have an email list, okay, and you don't have the attention, this is a fantastic way to get it, but there's no shortcut to getting there. You got to do the work, and you got to get good at it. Good news is if you focus on the only metric that matters and you give yourself a year to do it, you will be better than 98% of the artists that are on this platform. You will be getting that level of attention, and you will have a business that will start growing. That's my position. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's get into Q&A. I think that was a long enough rant. There was enough covered there. I know I went fast. Yes, I will share a replay. You can ask anything about anything. It's Friday. It's Open Line Friday. If you have a question and your camera's on, You can go old school hand raise. I will see that. For everyone else, if you look at the bottom of your Zoom window, there's this little smiley face. If you click the smiley face, it lets you raise your hand, digitally speaking. If you want to ask me a question, okay, the official corporate shill and mouthpiece, you can. If you want to ask Andrea a question, you can. Andrea's a customer, okay? She helps me on these webinars, but she's also a customer trying to grow her business. So you can ask her questions, and it's all fair games. I usually prioritize the hands and the real people, and then I go into the chat. I will also go into the chat. If you don't want to turn your camera on, you don't have to turn your camera on. I have a face for radio, okay? If this wasn't my job, you'd never know what I look like. So there's that too, and we'll just get it going and start it off. And yes, James, I turned your camera off because it looked like you were about to take a nap, and I couldn't take the self-esteem hit if you took a nap whilst I was presenting. So I had to turn your camera off. All right, Lorraine, you start. I'll turn it back on for you, though. Go ahead.
Hi, this has been great. I just had a question about location, and does that come through on Reels? Because I read or whatever heard that that's important. Is it?
Yeah, no, I'm just
no. It's all about the pieces, like you said.
Yeah, it's so what ends up happening is like, is it important? It might not be for me. It might be for you. I don't know. But I know when you focus on the only metric that matters, which is number of pieces of content, you figure out all of these things. You don't have to ask anymore. You know, because you're like, and I'm not naive, right? Like, in a perfect world, you guys would leave this thing and not look at another single solitary metric aside from the number of pieces of content you create per week, how much art you sold, and how many people have contacted you for it. But I know you're going to look at the likes, and I know you're going to look at the comments, and I know you're going to look at the shares. And let's be honest, I do too. They're still metrics, right? But when you start doing all of these things, when you become an operator, then you start to realize like, that was interesting. I'm going to go try that. And it just leads you down another rabbit hole and another rabbit hole, and you get more comfortable. And all the good things happen by focusing on those things. So that's what I would say. Like, don't even get me started. Time of day, no, just number of pieces of content.
Just number of pieces, and that was great. It's been great so far.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Glad you enjoyed it, despite my tech snafus there early on. Awesome. Any other questions you have, you let me know. All right, I will go back to the hands. Is there another hand? And thank you, Lorraine. Usually it just takes one brave one to open the floodgates of the questions. See, there we go, James. All right, good. You're not napping. I'll take your word for it. You'll have to unmute. Yep, gotcha.
I'm not napping.
Okay.
So thank you for taking the question.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a very good presentation on Instagram, which I'd gotten out of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an artist and I'm not a photographer, but I have an idea.
Okay.
That I believe that you guys can provide help with.
Okay.
A dear friend of mine is a fantastic artist, and he has passed on.
Okay.
His art is so incredible, and the world does not know of it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about someone who has painted work the level of William Blake.
Okay.
And so a collection of friends are coming together. We want to call it the Luminarium. And there are we have enough digitized high quality photographs of his work to begin to make prints, cards, posters, all kinds of print media. Mm-hmm. We have the commitment of myself and another person who's ready to run with this and generate money that will eventually create an art book and create a documentary. We have the footage, we have interviews with Edwin when he was still alive, and it's good content. But we need to be able to create a storefront that generates revenue and begins to generate interest, and it will take off.
Gotcha. I think a couple of things, right? Is it possible to grow a healthy business out of something like that? Yeah, absolutely it is. Do you need to be realistic that you're going to face some difficulties because you don't have the artist in question that can really help in terms of bonding and this and that? Yeah, but that doesn't matter at the end of the day. One, To be successful in that type of endeavor, you have to write the mental check that it's going to take 3 to 5 years of grinding and marketing to get that business where you want it to be. Who's going to do that work, right? So, if it was just you doing it and just you funding it and you're like, I want to do it, awesome, great. Because it's a group, okay? That's kind of like being in a Mormon marriage, right? So you have to have really, really good. I mean, I have one wife and I'd struggle with that alone, okay? Got some communication issues. I love her very much, but you know what I mean? It's like trying to be married to multiple people. So somebody inevitably is going to have to do the work in there, right? So who's going to do the work? Is that clear amongst the partnership, right? Is that person's time going to be compensated from the partnership entity and those dollars that are invested? I would hope so. So those are important things. And then, ultimately, if I've learned anything, is you can't pick horses in this business. Almost no one can. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. Like, a painter that is just so talented and the detail amazing. It looks like this thing came out of a camera. How did they even have that composition of brushstrokes to be able to do something like that? Crickets. Another guy, okay, painted a frog on a toilet and it said dropping off the tadpoles. And this guy has sold so many of these things into bathrooms. I don't even understand it. Okay. I don't even think the art's that good. So the point is like, there's no way somebody would have said the tadpole guy is going to 10x the other guy, right? So you don't know what you don't know. And despite the fact everyone says it's good, there's everyone saying it's good, and then there's the credit card going through the credit card reader, okay? That's the only one we care about because that means you have a business. And so those are some of the things you need to be open and honest about. If you feel like you've had that come to Jesus with the group and the art is that good, then you can go for it, but who's going to do the work? See, gave you some things to think about. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like how good it is. Like that is a startup from scratch. It's going to take 3 to 5 years minimum to get it humming, and that's just how it's going to go. And so, who's in for that commitment, right? Who's in for that commitment?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just go and take all the art to an art show or an art fair and try to sell all the originals and maintain the rights to do the prints. I mean, there's no one way to do it, but if it's really, really good art and you firmly believe in it and you think it could really sell, could it sell for the next 50 years, 75 years? Absolutely, if it's really good, right? So there's the upside potential to build the business, but you have to go through the grind, which no one likes. So that's the thing I think you need to like I said, have them come to Jesus on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would we be able to talk about this off camera at all? Because I don't want to, go on with my thing.
Yeah.
And take away from anybody else. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
all right,
you can send me an email and we can get someone to talk to you. No problem. Just have that discussion with the group because I think that's important. The communication is the key.
Yeah, when I signed up for Storefront, and like you said, I started to get a flood of emails.
Oh, yeah.
At the very beginning, I was getting offers for, we'll design your website for you and all this. And, I'm open to doing that, but I wasn't ready to do it right then and there. And I didn't know that was the moth. But now I'm ready to get going and,
yeah. Here's what I would do next. Request a demo. The demo is the hour test drive that shows all the plans, all the bells, all the whistles, all the packages, everything. Get that data. Go back to your group. Like I said, have them come to Jesus, and then see where you land. If you want to talk after that, we can talk after that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, James. And sorry about your friend, man.
Thank you very much.
That's never a good thing. All right, Francesca, you're up. Go ahead, Francesca.
All right, thank you. Just for the sake of like camera hair and no anything.
Yep.
What's up?
What's up?
So I have several questions. You're saying 3 to 5 years, and I understand that. I happen to have businesses outside of my art, but I'm trying to get started here. Is 3 to 5 years what you're seeing in your clientele, or is that just like a statistic that you're?
Yeah, there's like especially early on in the career, man, I've wanted the statistics to apply, right? I wanted there to be a roadmap that exists, and there's just nothing further from the truth. There's like every equation is such a multivariate equation that there's like no standard that like just applies, right? Like some people are doing it full time. Most people have full-time jobs. Some people are working really hard. Some people are barely working at it at all. Some people have incredible subject matter material. Some people have a subject matter material that's just not going to work, and they're going to have to switch a couple of times until they hit, and everything in between. What I don't like, what I think plagues this industry at a macro, why I think primarily the number one objective used in front of artists is starving, is because no one sets out for the journey in their mind relative to their marketing, right? And so I think it's the phenomenon that however long the drive is, once you know how long the drive is, the last hour is, are we there yet? Right? So if you think the drive in your head is 4 hours, hour 3, like you start shifting around in your chair and like, are we there yet? Like, but if you're on a 14-hour drive, you don't even say anything till hour 12. Because you know you got plenty to go, right? And so that's where the 3 to 5 years comes in. And I think it's so powerful. Like no one gives themselves the time, the right time horizon. And then they get going a little bit. And then the rubber meets the road. And then they're like, this doesn't work. They quit. And then rinse and repeat. And they never make any forward progress, right? So that's,
Yeah, absolutely. I know that this is about Instagram.
Yeah.
But I have some questions about art storefronts as a platform.
Yes,
so I understand that the AI that you guys use is something that differentiates you from Shopify. As far as people being able to see the product kind of on a wall or things like that.
The AI is such nonsense. I mean, like, here's the dirty little secret of the art world as it exists right now. Websites are just commodities now. Everyone has a website. Ours is ours better than everyone else's? Yeah, but it doesn't matter because no one has a website problem. You could have a Ferrari, you could have a Honda Accord. When no one's in the car, it doesn't matter, does it? No one's in the car, right? So
that's where I'm going. Like, I'm not so concerned about the website itself. I'm trying to figure out what is the benefit of art storefronts.
It's a great question, and it's just this: we're essentially a university, right? There's the technology piece, and we have the technology, and it's the best technology because unlike Shopify or any of the rest of them, all we do is focus on selling art and photography for the most part, right? And 90% of it, you can sell other stuff too, but whatever. 5 to 6 days a week, there's sessions like this, taught by me, taught by the CEO, taught by members of my marketing team. There is an insane support structure. There is an insane community. And all we do every week is keep everybody accountable, harass them, sometimes use bribery, teach them, educate them, everything, because that is what it takes to get people not to quit ever under any circumstances. That's it. That is the only thing. And let me tell you, it is if you could have 99% of that and 1% of the website, you would win, because that is where every artist fails. And it's not even a comparison in my mind. I mean, rose tinted glasses, obviously, but it's not even close because with the rest of them, you sign up for your website and it's like, good luck. With us, your website gets done and it's like, welcome to the party. We're just getting started. And then we are relentless for the rest of your life. It's also why we're the most expensive, because we realized we would have gone out of business if we were just websites. Didn't matter that we had the best website in the world. Wall preview. I have so many bells and whistles and features and nonsense. It's insane. Doesn't matter. You don't need that. No one else needs that. You will fail if you do not fix the marketing problem. Number one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that is the differentiator. And in my estimation, it's no small thing. It is no small thing.
Okay. So back to Instagram, and thank you for answering all the questions. I'm sure I'm asking questions other people have in their minds.
Yeah.
Is there a correlation between more content and more sales?
Yes, absolutely.
So, and is that line just going to keep going?
Yep.
Like if I do 100 posts a day, I'm going to get more sales type of thing?
I hit, I think like 260, 270 per week. And the results were pretty insane. We came off the gas a little bit. I think we probably could have pushed it to 1,000. I think the mental model is like, you could probably never do enough. You could probably never do enough, honestly. It's like, first you realize that the boat is over the fish, and then you start to realize, like, how many additional fishermen can I get on the boat that have lines in the water, you know? And if you have everything else set up to capitalize on it, you're capturing emails on your website. You're regularly emailing the emails on the website. You're running sales when the time is right, right? You're doing all the rest of the marketing stuff that's automatically going to nurture those folks when you come in. I'm not sure. I'm sure there would be a number you do hit where it's too much, but I don't think you'll ever hit it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And now I'll end with this one, unless people are happy to hear me ask more questions. Is there a difference, would you say, in the kind of content that you would create for those that sign up to your, say, newsletter, right? So when you capture that email, you want to maintain a relationship and form a relationship with that person over time.
Yeah.
So Instagram is a very visual platform.
Yes.
I get it. What kind of content do you think engages an audience, or is that part of the adventure of figuring it out?
For sure it is. For sure it's part of the adventure. But this is, and what I'll do is I'll mute you now, and then I'm going to leave your hand up, and then I'll get the other questions, and I'm going to come back to you, okay? Because we'll probably be out of questions. My strong contention is that art sales are 50-50. It is 50% the work, and then it is 50% who is Francesca, what makes her tick, what is she interested in? Is she a foodie? Does she like movies? Dog person, cat person? Does she like long walks? Does she do CrossFit? Like, people want to get bonded with who you are and what makes you tick, and have some shared ideas, or like something that you do creative. And 50% of that is the work, and 50% of that is who you are, what makes you tick. So I'm not saying you have to become a Kardashian, okay, and have a damn camera crew follow you around and dress scantily, but you have to turn the camera on every once in a while and show a little look into your world, who you are, what makes you tick. That's my position. Very, very important. Julietta, you're up next. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, would you mind elaborating on what you said before? Like, I had it there in the comments about if it's worth it to open a shop or not.
Not.
Kind of like tied into what you were explaining in the webinar.
I think it's another one of those shiny objects, right, that completely pulls you off track. I think the data I've seen is it sort of works if you're selling women's cosmetics, but I haven't seen very good data that it works any other way. And if you have a website, you don't want to cede control of everything to Instagram or Facebook. You want them on your home court advantage, so you can capture the email and everything else. So in terms of Instagram, if you don't have a website yet, try to do everything via the DM, but don't waste your time setting up the shop. Not a good way to sell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, because I do have a website, and I'm thinking about putting, some things in there, whatever, I'm selling, but I'm like, is it worth it to do it? Do I also have to do it on Instagram?
No, you don't. You don't. And the few knucklehead customers of mine that decided to go and do it wasted all kinds of time for zero results. And so they're like, yeah, it wasn't worth it. And I've had like 6 or 7 people tell me that. So no, not worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That was my question.
Awesome. And thank you for laughing at my jokes. I could see you laughing. I appreciate it. All right. It's going to go Drew, Lorraine, and then I'll go back. I've already forgotten your name. I'm so bad with names. Go ahead, Drew.
So I'm talking now. Okay.
Yeah.
And Andrea, I talked with Andrea yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And so she knows I'm being extremely contained.
I didn't even know that was her name.
Because I probably talk as fast as you do, and I'm tracking with you 100%. So very quickly though, I like what I'm forgetting who Francesca asked about the difference between Shopify and art storefronts. And I know that's just, like you said, there's a bunch of these, or not like art storefronts. I get that, is that you have the community, you have the university, you have the educational component, you have the marketing backup. And I'm going to say this, and I know you said don't say this, and you've heard this before, but I've been doing this for 31 years, selling art professionally and selling it. And the one thing in the commercial world, I'm going after art buyers who work at advertising agencies, which is extremely siloed, very, very incestuous, for lack of a better word.
For sure.
Very much word of mouth, even to the, even with all the technology and stuff like this. So I just barrage people with stuff that we do, and then I try to reach out to them individually. So I've gone through the pain of that kind of rejection. every day for all of this entire time. But when we got to fine art, I noticed that, we would post things, but there's this gap, obviously, between us. And I know I'm not putting out enough content, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm completely comfortable talking to people and completely comfortable engaging with clients and having those conversations about, I'm very outgoing in that way as far as, I'm extroverted and I'm sales oriented and I love talking about myself clearly. So that's a good thing. So, but it's, I like the one thing I noticed, see, I love the idea of art storefronts, and to me, the because of everything they're saying. But how can I, if it was being completely in all candor, just wouldn't I be able to build? Because I have a functioning website that works for us as far as commercial clients go.
Yeah.
People do come to it. Do I have the data to show that people come to it? No, usually I respond. It's like the example you had set up where someone had said, I went to your website. That's how I found out what you do. Or that's how I found out. Or someone took.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this,
I wouldn't touch what you have, right? Because you probably have some history there and it's probably like pretty built up. What I would do is, perfect example, this guy's a customer and he's got a huge commercial side, right? He's like the BBC Planet Earth guy, right? And he's got his portfolios and his stock archive and wildlife diaries and all the things he's like done, commercially throughout his life. And then he just throws a store tab in his main website, and you can either put it on a separate site or you put it in a subdomain, right? So it could be store dot whatever your website is, or it could be a different domain. He chose a different domain. I think he should have just put it in a subdomain. And that's how I would do it. So you have your commercial site and you have that silo still going, and then you contemplate your fine art business as a completely separate business, and you can have that in its own silo as well. But you got to be worried. You got to be worried in terms of the, everyone always says aren't you worried about what's going to happen with AI and fine art? And I'm like, no, I'm not worried in the slightest because of the aforementioned 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, because of the 50-50 bond between who is the artist and what makes them tick, and then
I think in the fine art world, I think that it's
in your world, you are smoked. In the guys that are selling the stuff into, I know Bed Bath & Beyond is out of business, but like Bed Bath & Beyond or Crate & Barrel or any of those, that's smoked too. But that's such a minority, right? Almost no one knows an artist that has work that's in Crate & Barrel or what's the other one? There's two competitors. But you know what I'm talking about, like the art that sells in retail.
Yeah. In Bath & Body Works, that's actually,
AI
they were one of our biggest clients.
AI is going to destroy that too. Oh my God. Done.
Well, I think product design for sure is going to be
done.
Collaborative design.
Why would they pay? I mean, it's going to slowly eat away. But I think fine art sales, I don't think it'll cannibalize because people want to know the artist and what makes them tick and what makes them bond. Yes, some small segment of the market will be like, I don't care, I just want a thing on my wall, but they'll go to the aforementioned stores for that. So yeah, I'm early on when I was coming up in my career, the factories in China started springing up where they would train all of the ladies to paint, and they would get them really, really good, and they would be able to rip off duplicates and do variation. That never went anywhere, right? And that's what AI is essentially, right? So I'm not so much worried about it on that level. People still want to know who the artist is and be bonded to him. So yeah.
Right. No, I know I'm in the commercial end of it, and I've been going through a deep rooting depression since January 1st.
I would too.
Because it's been like I've been watching this thing. Go, wait a second, and I'll call because we actually do AI. We started an AI in 2020 to do to help with concepting and storyboarding and all the stuff that we do, but we didn't sell it. And then we had projects for agencies that are using it. And a lot of agencies are trying to side with the artist and saying we're not using it. They're definitely using it.
I invested about an hour and a half worth of time to get good at prompting on Midjourney, and the stuff that I'm able to churn out of Midjourney blows my mind. Like
it's amazing.
Really, really good at it. Oh my goodness, I can only imagine. You sit.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's soulless. It's all aggregated.
Totally
theft.
Soulless. Totally soulless.
I call it aggregated imagery, not artificial intelligence, is because that's exactly what it is. And the thing about it, when people keep telling me, they say, Drew, you're a really creative person, you do this, you're out in front of it, and therefore you're still in the head. So if you look at it like if it's sort of like a wake or a that we're still out in front of it, but that's gonna you know what I mean, it's just gonna continue to go like this until some point they're gonna sort of be one of the things is sort of predicting, with artificial intelligence what people can do or what they might come up with. So but my thing about it is to get back into this the separation between Shopify and art storefronts is like if I was to sign up now, and I think I reached out to you about this and I said, hey, what, because I don't think I need the full website. I need the marketplace. I need the full, but I don't even know what I'm asking for and what the different prices cover. Is there sort of an a la carte thing that you can go through and say, okay, if you're paying $1,700, this is this, and if you're paying $3,400, this is what you get.
Yeah. Have you already been through the whole spiel?
I went through. I like I did with Andrea yesterday. Reed, I think his name is, contacted me, and I was just verbal diarrhea, just like, and then I said he probably didn't get a chance to. He goes, okay, we'll talk later. But I didn't really get into the specifics of the pricing components and what that means, how much is augmented reality cost in addition to that? What is that like? But I think just having someone else build, because I just finished. We spent a year building our website.
It's
exhausting.
This is the other thing that I found that really prevents artists from going anywhere. Okay. And I always take it out of the art world. Like, if you're a really good chef, what's the one thing that you should be doing as a really good chef? You should be cooking, right? And so the really good chef, he's also an artist. He wants to open a restaurant. The problem is he doesn't understand how to delegate, and he's never really delegated. And so he's like, okay, not only do I need to take the reservations, I need to answer the phones, I need to set the tables, I need to seat the diners, I need to take their order, and then I have to clean up after the fact. What size is his restaurant going to be? It's only ever going to be a 2-table restaurant, because you can't do all of that and cook the meal and have it be incredible, right? And so you don't need to be taking the calls, and you don't need to be seating the diners, and you don't need to be the maitre d'.
Right. That's the part I love about it, is the working while you sleep function.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's not even that. It's like our evolution has taken us 10 years to learn these damn lessons the hard way. If we don't snatch these things away from you, you'll think that's something you need to be confident at. You don't ever need to build a website again. Waste of your damn time. If I am, if I am your business manager, I'm like, the number. It's like you hating math and me making you take math classes in college. It's like, you're not gonna remember that crap or ever use that crap ever again. No, go all in on what you're good at and what you want to do. For you, that's just creating the things. So what does print on demand do? You get an order, the printer takes care of it, it box ships, the system sends all the emails. You don't have to waste a second. More time to create, more time to market, right? What is us building the website? You will never touch a line of code. You will never have to build the website. You're never going to have to go in there, because that is a waste of your time and not what you need to be learning, right? Our most recent service is called Copilot, and we started doing some limited marketing for our customers, and it's another thing. Like, we take that off your plate. You have more time. And it's just, you don't need to be the hostess. You don't need to be the waiter. You don't need to be the damn dishwasher. We want to see your restaurant have more than 2 tables in it. And that's the game we're playing. And that's what we're doing. So I would go back to Reed and get the prices and see what you like.
I will shut up so that Lorraine can talk, but one more question for you. Do you guys have a function where you can pull stuff? Like we spent hours and hours loading up Society 6.
Yeah, it's such a
with explanations.
Yeah, I know.
Can they pull?
No, they won't. But all you have to do is put all the images in a folder, and they'll take care of the rest of it. So you're gonna have to just, they might actually. They might, depending on how clean it laid out. You're gonna have to give them all the images, but they'll do the rest potentially.
Right.
Because it might even be easier than you putting it in a document. If it's all just there.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Lorraine. You're up next. Go ahead, Lorraine. And then I'll circle back to you for Jessica. Don't worry.
Yeah, sure. So I just wanted to, can you go over that again? Because I just opened a Shopify store for something else I'm selling, but I eventually want to sell some art. So can you kind of just go over, like, what are the major benefits? I mean, obviously, I guess it's laid out great. Art Storefronts is laid out great for art.
The website, like, our website is way better for selling art than anything Shopify has. It's not a knock on Shopify. I love Shopify. It's just Shopify is the Swiss Army knife that sells everything, and we're just focused on it. So it stands to reason we would be better at it. We are.
Right.
But it's not that. It's everything that happens after that. Like once you sign up with Shopify, it's like, okay, great. Good luck. Once you sign up with
then
us,
you have to market.
yeah,
Yeah,
once
you have to
sign up with
market.
us, it's like then you just walk into college as a freshman. Except there's no graduating that college ever. And week in, week out, for the rest of your art selling life, you're supported on the journey. There's Zoom sessions just like this one, except for customers, 5 days a week. There's Zoom support, technical support. They'll help you with Facebook. They'll help you with your website. Not that you need to build that anyway. They'll help you with pricing, help you with shipping, 5 days a week. There is a huge Facebook group where everyone encourages everyone. Sometimes people complain. It's part of it too. There are individual sessions, there's tickets, there's phone calls, videos get made for you, and without that accountability, without that support, I don't know how anyone makes it. You have to be a unicorn of sorts to stay motivated and be able to do that all on your own. Like, what are you going to do? Do you know how to run a fourth quarter sale? Do you know how to run a Black Friday sale? Do you know how to announce the sale, tease the sale, how to contemplate discounts, what to do before, during, and after the sale to make it the most effective, how to do the best omni-channel marketing, how to ensure that all of your Instagram posts properly dovetail with the message of what your sale is, and then how to end it and put it all back to normal, and then what you do after that. It's like, these are the fundamental things that we teach week in, week out, and don't ever stop. So it's a significant difference.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, Francesca, back at it. Uh-oh. She's gone off. I don't know if Francesca's gone. Okay.
No, I'm here. I just had to navigate my way back to unmute.
Saved by the bell, Francesca. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the university and the information that, well, not the information, but I guess the classes, the ongoing support. Are you guys, is Instagram the only thing you guys focus on?
No. Just not even close.
Okay. So you teach other platforms or just marketing in general, not just Instagram?
Email marketing, how to market on Facebook, how to do in-person shows and fairs, how to leverage QR codes. I mean, you name it, soup to nuts, just about everything. Everything that matters anyway. Everything that moves the needle anyway.
Okay. Have you seen, and this might be nitty gritty, but have you seen a difference between the type of art? Do you guys have insight into the type of art that sells?
Crystal ball question. It doesn't work. That's another one of those things. Like you wish that if I just knew what the best selling media types were, or sizes, or this or that, all nonsense. It's literally, there's so many. It's that multivariate thing again, right? Like, I have somebody that has over 1 million followers on Instagram, and I have somebody that has 2,500 followers on Instagram. The 2,500 follower person outsells the other one 500 to 1. 500 to 1. It's not even close. How the hell do I quantify that, right? And then you try to look at email lists and this and that, and there's just so much that the emotional connection, the subject matter material, the bond with the audience. There's just so many variables in there that, just about anything could potentially work. It just really comes down to that equation. All we could say is, like, we believe that we give you, we stack the deck in your favor as much as possible to create the best set of circumstances for artists and photographers to succeed. I don't think there's anyone that does even as close to as good a job we do, but it doesn't mean we make successful artists and photographers, right? You still have to do the work, right? I know Drew, not really. Drew's asking about LinkedIn. It's changing a little bit, because all the platforms have lifespans, and I do think LinkedIn's a little bit up on the upswing. And so we're flirting with, starting to run some tests, which is what we'll do. We'll try to make it pay on our end. And if we make it pay on our end, then we'll start teaching our customers how to do it. I think, no one maxes out the channels that are really, really good, right? Which are Instagram and Facebook. No one ever maxes those out. And then they start looking for the other ones and say, like, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? And then it's like, well, you haven't maxed the one channel, right? And there's a ton of like startup advice out there that it's like, if you can get one channel to work, don't even contemplate the other ones. Like, go all in on the one channel, right? A ton of advice like that exists. So I'm intrigued by LinkedIn, but not until you're hammering the other ones. Anyway, sorry about that. I hijacked you mid answer 2 questions at once. Do you have more, Francesca, or did you mute again?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good. I gotcha.
Yeah. No, I was saying that it wasn't a digression. That was a good question for me as well.
Okay, good.
And I think I've run out of questions for right now.
Aha! Awesome.
Yeah.
Because I'm running out of steam when I've talked myself into circles. Okay, so I'm going to send you guys a replay of this. Thank you. That was fun, by the way. I really actually enjoyed that, kind of just having fun on a Friday. Got to solve the marketing problem, guys. Got to solve the marketing problem. You're working on anything but that, I'm worried, right? We got to solve the marketing problem. Just mantra over and over and over again. Repeat. But huge thanks. I will send you the replay. I really want you guys to subscribe to the podcast. I'm not kidding. It's good. Over 500,000 downloads, okay? And 200 5-star reviews. I don't know. It's got some reviews, but it is really good. You can find it anywhere that you listen to podcasts. And then my team is trying to get 100% of the episodes up, but I want you to literally go listen to this one like today. How to turn buying questions into selling conversations. And it's with that Instagram technique that I taught. Wonderful weekends all. Enjoy the last bit of summer. I'm not willing to let go of summer, by the way. It's still summer, okay? Still summer. So enjoy the last bits of summer. Hope to see you on the inside or a future session. And thanks for hanging out, guys.